You are where you are today, in part because of what you've been saying about yourself. Words are like seeds. When you speak something out, you give life to what you're saying. If you continue to say it, eventually that can become a reality. Whether you realize it or not, you are prophesying your future. And this is great when we're saying things like, I'm blessed, I'm strong, I will accomplish my dreams, I'm coming out of debt. That's not just being positive, you are prophesying victory, prophesying success, prophesying new levels. Your life will move in the direction of your words. But too many people go around prophesying just the opposite. I never get any good breaks. I'll never get back in shape. Business is slow. I'll probably get laid off. Flu season is here. I always get it. They don't realize they are prophesying defeat. If you have a poor mouth, you're going to have a poor life. If you don't like what you're seeing, start sowing some different seeds.
To begin with, you start by doing what we call doing affirmations. And that is making positive statements about your life that are positive. And you do them deliberately. You might do them in the morning, you might do them at noon, you might do them at night, you might do them, twice a day or whatever. But you do this and you let this become a habit. And as you start to do them, things will begin to change, maybe on a very small level. Doing an affirmation is either writing it down, writing it on the wall or the mirror, or using just saying it.
Many people don't realize with their words, they're cursing their future. Pay attention to what you're saying. Are you blessing your life or are you cursing it?
Like attracts like. You have to understand, you are a magnet. Whatever you are, that's what you draw to you. If you're negative, you're going to draw negativity. You're positive, you draw positive. You're a kind person, more people are kind to you. So you're like a magnet, and you got to understand something about like attracts like. If you see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand.
Every thought we think and every word we speak is creating our future. It's as though our thoughts go out into the universe and are accepted and brought back to us as experience. Now that is a very simple thing, but most people don't get it. They don't understand it. They've never heard it before and they think it's ridiculous. But if you can really accept the fact that every time you think a thought and every time you speak a word, you are literally creating your own life.
God said a man is as he thinketh. We are how we think. You have got to change the way you think. It is the whole determining factor of where you go in life. We are all where we are today because we thought ourselves to this position. If you don't like the position, think yourself out of it.
There are a lot of voices in life trying to define us, tell us who we are. Sometimes they're uplifting, other times they're negative. You're not attractive. There's nothing special about you. Our own thoughts will try to label us. When you listen to all these voices, it's easy to think, who's telling the truth? Who am I? Am I strong and confident, or am I weak and insecure? Here's the key. The only voice that matters is your voice. What you choose is what you will become. Who do you say you are? God says you have seeds of greatness. You are destined to leave your mark. Other voices will tell you you're just ordinary. You have the final choice. The problem with some people is they've chosen the wrong voice so long, they don't know who they really are. They've allowed circumstances to define them. Mistakes, disappointments, now they've lost their passion. The only one that knows who you really are is your Creator. He calls you a masterpiece. He said you will be mighty in the land, that you are more than a conqueror, confident, approved, valuable. When you say what God says about you, then you activate what He put on the inside. But you can't say I'm weak and tap into the power. You can't say I'm not that talented and tap into your greatness. Who do you say you are? Not who do other people say you are? Who do your coworkers say you are? no disrespect, but you are not who people say you are. You are who God says you are. If you let them put their limitations on you, convince you that you can't accomplish your dream, then because you're letting them define you, what they're saying is going to come to pass. Don't repeat the negative people have spoken over you. Imagine someone asks you, who do you say you are so we can tell others? Well, this pandemic has me worried. My back's been hurting. These kids are getting on my nerves. I'm really discouraged. That is not who you are. Go back to the scripture and say what God says about you. I'm strong, talented, favored, blessed, forgiven, fearfully, and wonderfully made. I am not what I feel. I may feel weak, but God says I'm strong, so my report is I am strong. You may not feel up to par. You're dealing with an illness, fighting that depression. It's easy to wear the labels, sick, depressed. That's just who I am. That's not who you are. That's what you're dealing with. Don't let that difficulty become your identity. What do you say about yourself? I'm sick. I'm depressed. No, I'm healthy. I'm free. I'm happy. I'm victorious. If you'll start saying what God says about you instead of what you feel, you'll see things begin to turn around. Just because you've made mistakes doesn't mean that stopped your destiny. What stops us is when we start wearing the negative labels. We quit pursuing our dreams. When you were born, God said the same thing about you as He did Moses. This is no ordinary child. He's destined you to leave your mark. You may have made mistakes. It's taken longer than you thought, but that doesn't change what's in you. Now, the enemy will work overtime to try to steal your sense of value. He knows if he can distort your identity and convince you that you're just average, then he can keep you from your greatness. I wonder how far God will take you if you will just live like you are no ordinary child. That there's a favor on your life that will take you where you can't go on your own. A blessing that will cause you to stand out. Who do you say you are? You have royal blood flowing through your veins. What's trying to stop you doesn't have a chance. God being for you is more than the world being against you. That sickness should be the end. The medical report says you're done, but not for you. You're no ordinary child. God handpicked you. Before you could choose Him, He chose you. Now don't go around thinking you're average. You don't have much to offer. You are no ordinary child. You are a history maker. You are destined to leave your mark. Well, Joel, this sounds good, but I think you have the wrong person. There's nothing unusual about me. I don't have a great personality. I don't come from an influential family. As long as you're discounting yourself, you're not going to see your greatness. I'm asking you to get in agreement with God. It doesn't matter. How you were raised. It's not dependent on how much education you have, what obstacles you're up against. When you believe, doors will open you never dreamed would open. The prophet Joel said, wake up the mighty men, wake up the mighty women. I want to wake up your greatness. Wake up that business God put in you. Wake up that book. May seem like it's over your head, but you have to understand you're not average. You can accomplish more than you think. You are more anointed than you think. You are more talented than you think. The dreams and gifts God put in you are much bigger than you think. Don't you dare say, I'm average, I'm ordinary. Get in agreement with God. I am highly favored. I am surrounded with God's goodness.